What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another PvP secrets video, which will show you some tips and tricks that people are using or you're not using in PvP, and that is why you're struggling against players. So I'm going to reveal a few more secrets or things that are not used or should be more common knowledge for people. So the first one is, are you using the right potions? So if I go over here, and I'll show you the potion, the reason that you can't CC and immobilize someone is because they're probably using Essence of Immovability. This will make the player immune to any knockback and disabling effects. So if you're trying to stun them with like Fossilize or a CC and they're still getting away, this is what they're using. So don't use crappy potions. Obviously have tri-stat potions as a backup, but this is what you should be using, so you're not going to keep getting CC'd. Because think about it, when on the death recaps, it's 9 times out of 10 it's because you've probably been CC'd to the ground, and then obviously that's when they finish you off. So this will stop you getting CC'd as much. So these are nice potions to have on. So that's the first secret tip. And the next tip will be on the jewellery. Most of the time I'd be running infused on the jewellery, which is nice because it boosts the enchantment. But what I have found is that you can run damage and recovery on one, the jewellery. So instead of running infused and just putting, say, like either recovery glyph or damage and getting one or the other, you can actually have both. So you can have recovery as the enchantment, and if you put bloodthirsty as the trait, you're going to get weapon and spell damage against the enemy. It won't show up on your stat page, but you will be getting that damage, and you can then still slot a recovery. So you can have damage and recovery on one jewellery piece rather than just having either recovery or damage. So that's another tip with the jewellery. Run bloodthirsty, because then that frees up the enchantment and you can put on what you want. The next one is with Sea Serpent. I've seen a lot of people have this problem, that when you're running Sea Serpent it snares you, so you must have high mobility. So for example, I'm running it on this character, but I've got the wings, and that skill is Bird of Prey, which is giving me that major expedition, that movement, to mitigate that snare. So if you're going to run Sea Serpent, which most people are, people put it on, and then obviously I've seen people get trapped and pinned because they can't get away, because they've not took into account that you need to mitigate the snare, which is by 40%. So you can either do that by running Swift Jewellery, or you must have a source of major expedition to increase your movement speed. And obviously make sure you have the Steed's Blessing to give you better movement rate, and I would recommend Celerity as well for more movement speed in the red CB. So if you run Sea Serpent, make sure you're running mobility, because I've seen too many people get killed with Sea Serpent on because they've got no mobility. And the next one is make sure you have tri-stat on your armor pieces. because you're just losing out on you know, your stats for your magicka, health and recovery. And if you do this, I've worked it out, if you have tri-stat on all your armor pieces against just having one flat enchantment, I think if you have the flat enchantment of say you wanted stamina, you put stamina on all of it, that would come out to around 4008. And if you run tri-stat on all of them, the stats will come round to 6207. So you're getting over 2000 extra stats of magicka, stamina and health for free. I know they're expensive, but they're worth having. So try to have a tri-stat enchantment on all of your pieces if you're running a typical PvP setup. Obviously if you're running glass cannon you might not want to do that, like a sniper build. But if you're running an actual build, you know, where you want a sort of 1v1 person or 1vx, I think tri-stat is definitely the way to go, because you're just getting extra stats for free. And the final tip, which probably most people will know, but just in case, is that make sure you're a vampire. It's becoming almost impossible to survive in PvP without being a vampire, and that is because of the undeath passive. So it gives you up to 30% damage reduction based on your missing health. So everyone's running this at the moment. Yes, you take more fire damage, and yes, your skills will cost more, but it's still worth it because of that 30% mitigation, because people are hitting so hard with so many dots. You just have to run vampire. It's not really even an option anymore. And I was one of them people that fought against it. It was like, oh, I don't want to run vampire. But trust me, you need to run vampire, because it will just give you so much mitigation of some of the damage, which is desperately needed now. So yep, that's it with this video. That's some of the tips I can share with you. I'll probably be making another PvP secrets video. If you enjoy the video, drop me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.